You're not tired. You're mentally exhausted. And the worst part? Your own thoughts are the ones draining you. Every little thing turns into a big deal in your head. One small text that didn't get a reply, one awkward interaction, one future plan that's still up in the air, and suddenly, your brain is playing all the worst-case scenarios on repeat. You lie down to rest, but your mind just won't shut up. And here's the thing nobody tells you. Most people who overthink don't even know they're doing it. It just feels like you're being careful or thorough. But in reality, you're stuck in a loop that's silently destroying your peace. So the question is, how do you break that loop? Let's get into it. Overthinking feels like you're solving a problem, but you're not. You're reliving problems. You're replaying conversations, imagining outcomes, analyzing things that haven't even happened. And when your brain's doing all that in overdrive, guess what happens? Nothing. You don't move forward. You don't act. You just sit there, trapped. The first step to stopping overthinking is understanding what it really is. It's not thinking too much. It's thinking in circles, with no direction and no conclusion. And the first thing we need to do is break that circle. Let me show you how. Step 1 is called the 5-5-5 reset. Whenever you notice yourself spiraling in thought, stop and ask, will this matter in 5 days, 5 months, or 5 years? This forces your brain to zoom out. Most things we obsess over won't matter even by next week. But our minds trick us into thinking they're massive. This question instantly gives perspective. It doesn't erase the problem, but it shrinks it. Next, take action, physical action, not thinking, not journaling. Move, get up, walk, do a quick task. The reason? Action breaks mental loops. When you take even the smallest action, like getting water or doing 5 push-ups, your brain gets a signal. We're not stuck. We're doing something. And that shift is powerful. Overthinking thrives in stillness. It suffocates in momentum. Now let's talk about your triggers. Because you don't just start overthinking randomly. There are certain times, places, or topics that set you off. For some people, it's right before bed. For others, it's after scrolling social media. Take a week and start tracking your overthinking. Write down when it happens and what it's about. You'll start noticing patterns. Maybe it's always when you feel like you're not doing enough, or after a conversation where you felt misunderstood. Once you know your triggers, you can intercept the spiral before it begins. Let's go even deeper. Overthinking often comes from a need for control. You don't trust things to just be. You need to predict them, analyze them, control every angle. But life doesn't work like that. And ironically, the more you try to control everything, the less peace you have. You have to build the skill of letting go. One way to practice this is by setting a decision deadline. If there's something on your mind that needs a decision, give yourself a timer. I'll think about this for 20 minutes, and then I'm done. You're allowed to think. You're not allowed to spiral. Here's something most people never try, but it works: mental containment. Imagine putting your thoughts into a mental box. Visualize it. You're putting all those swirling thoughts into a sealed container and placing it on a shelf. Tell yourself, I'll come back to this at 7 p.m. And when 7 p.m. comes, you either deal with it or realize it doesn't matter anymore. Either way, you stop the loop. Breathing is another secret weapon, not just any breathing, box breathing. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. Do this 4 times. This slows your heart rate, signals safety to your brain, and shifts your nervous system out of panic mode. It's simple, fast, and works. Here's the truth. Your brain wants to help you. That's why it keeps thinking. But it doesn't realize when it's hurting you. You have to step in and take back the wheel. That means setting boundaries with your thoughts the same way you would with a toxic friend. Just because a thought shows up doesn't mean you have to listen to it. Let's take a real example. Say you're lying in bed and you start thinking about a conversation you had earlier. You keep replaying it, wondering if you said the wrong thing. Here's what you do. Step 1. Interrupt the loop. Say, out loud if you need to, "This is not helpful." Step 2. Reframe. Ask yourself, what else could be true? Maybe the other person didn't even think twice. Step 3. Distract. Do something simple like stretching, drinking water, or changing your environment. And finally, remind yourself that you've survived every awkward moment so far. This one won't kill you either. One of the most underrated skills is knowing when to let thoughts pass. Not everything needs to be processed. Some things just need to be ignored. You're not a robot. You're not meant to calculate everything. You're allowed to feel uncertain. You're allowed to move forward without knowing every outcome. The climax of this process is a mental shift, realizing that you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. You're the one who decides what gets airtime in your mind. Once you understand that, everything changes. You stop reacting, you start choosing, and that's the beginning of peace. Let's quickly recap. Use the 5-5-5 method to zoom out. Take small physical actions to break loops. Track your triggers. Set decision deadlines. Practice mental containment. Use box breathing. Reframe negative spirals. And above all, start seeing your thoughts as suggestions, not facts. Subscribe for more tools like this. Your next breakthrough could be just a video away. Until next time,